Listen, I know you're excited about the new year. You've been setting goals, making your vision board, and you cannot wait to let the world know what's coming. But hold up. Before you post it, before you tell everybody your next move, let's talk about why that might not be the best idea. Because success doesn't always announce itself. And the most successful chapters of your life, they won't start with a big announcement. They'll start in silence. No posts, no explanations. Just consistent, focused work when no one else is watching. And when that season of quiet turns into results, girl, it's gonna speak louder than anything you could have said. In today's video, I'm breaking down how keeping your goals to yourself will protect your vision, fuel your focus, and make your success undeniable in 2026. Now, if you're returning, welcome back. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, girl, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Let's get into it. Now, let me put you on to something that most people don't realize. Your goals actually lose power when you talk about them too much. And I'm not gonna hold you. This might be the real reason why a lot of people don't hit their goals. Because the moment they start talking about it, they stop moving. Here's why. Every time you share your plans out loud, your brain releases dopamine. It's the same feel-good chemical you get when you actually achieve something. But here's the problem. You haven't done anything yet. That early validation tricks your mind into thinking further ahead than you are, and before you know it, your motivation starts to fade. Think about it. How many times have you told someone, this is my year. I'm going to start that business, lose the weight, write a book, and then never actually follow through? It's not because you're lazy or incapable. It's because the act of talking about it already gave your brain the reward it was craving. And once that happened, your drive naturally starts to die down. But when you keep your goals to yourself, you stay hungry. You stay laser focused. There's no false sense of accomplishment. Just quiet work, relentless action, and real results. Instead of telling people what you're going to do, tell yourself what you've already done. I want you to keep a private proof list. A simple note in your phone or your journal where you track small wins and actions. That builds momentum from actual progress, not empty promises. And when you look back at that list, you'll realize how much power you gain by staying silent and staying consistent. And trust me, once you master that discipline, everything changes. And speaking of discipline, let's talk about the real reason sharing your goals can actually attract negativity into your life and why most people never see it coming. But real quick, I want to put y'all on to something that I've been using in my daily routine that has really been helping me with my gut health and digestion. And I want to thank Live It Up for sponsoring today's video. Now, I've really been focusing on taking better care of myself lately. And this has been one of the easiest ways that I've found to stay consistent. This is Live It Up Super Greens Powder, an all-natural daily greens blend designed by dietitians to support digestion, reduce bloating, and boost natural energy without caffeine or sugar. Now listen, girl, I'm only sharing products on my channel that I genuinely love and believe can make a difference, and this is one of them. Now, I've had my share of greens powders before, and let me tell you, girl, I was not a fan. They either tasted like grass or left me feeling bloated. But this one is actually smooth, it's gentle on the stomach, and it's made with 20 plus superfoods, organic vegetables, probiotics, and digestive enzymes. So it supports your gut and it tastes good. Girl, it's also sugar-free, caffeine-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and nut-free. So it fits easily into every lifestyle. And I love that it's been tested for quality. No fillers, no weird additives. Just clean, traceable ingredients that you can trust. So if you've tried green powders before and weren't impressed, give this one a shot. You'll feel the difference. You can use my code Tiffany15 for 15% off your first order, plus free shipping. And yes, girl, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. You can scan the QR code right here on the screen or click the link below to grab yours. Trust me, girl, your body will thank you for this one. Now, back to the video. Let's be real. Everybody who's clapping for you is not actually happy for you. Girl, some people will smile in your face and still hope you fall flat on your face. Others might even try to make that happen. Trifling. And here's the thing, you won't always see it coming. When you share every detail of your next move, you give people access. Access to your plans, your timeline, and sometimes your weaknesses. And not everyone deserves that access. Some people will use that information to discourage you, plant seeds of doubt, or quietly root for your failure. just so they feel better about not pursuing their own dreams. It's not about being paranoid. It's about being protective. Protecting your vision means protecting your peace, your energy, and your progress. The truth is, the more noise you allow into your space, the harder it is to hear your own voice. And the louder the opinions are around you, the easier it is to second guess yourself. Only share your goals with people who have earned the right to hear them, meaning they've shown genuine support. They celebrate your growth without jealousy, and they hold you accountable without projecting their own fears. Girl, if they don't meet that standard, they don't need to know the plan. And here's the beauty of it. When people don't know what's next, they can't stop it, block it, or speak against it. All they'll see is the results, and by then, it's too late. Now, speaking of results, let's talk about why silence doesn't just protect your dreams. It multiplies them by building unstoppable momentum. You know what people misunderstand? They think silence means nothing's happening. But in reality, silence is often the sign that everything is happening. Because when you're focused on doing the work instead of explaining the work, that's when momentum starts to build. And here's the thing. Every time you pause to explain your goals, defend your decisions, or update people who aren't even contributing to your growth, you're wasting energy that could have been fueling your next step. Quiet work does not mean you're moving slow. It means you're moving smart. Think about a train, right? It don't start out fast. It builds speed quietly, steadily, one turn of the wheel at a time. But once it's moving, it's impossible to stop. That's exactly how momentum works in your life. When there's no outside noise, no distractions, no need for validation, you get into a flow state where progress becomes your norm. You're not starting and stopping. You're building, and that consistent motion compounds over time. You don't need to announce every little step like,
y'all, I signed up for the gym.
Like, okay, girl, whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo.
Girl, let your work talk, not your captions. I want you to create what I call a silent season. This is a set period, maybe 3 months, 6 months, even a full year, where you focus entirely on execution. No posting about the process, no explaining what's coming, no seeking approval, just daily disciplined action. Then when you finally do speak, let the results introduce themselves. And trust me, once you start operating from that quiet momentum, you'll realize something powerful. You don't need to announce every move, because the work will always speak louder than the words. Now let's talk about another reason that silence is such a superpower: peace. Because the more private you become, the more peace you protect. And that peace is the foundation of success. One of the most underrated parts of achieving your goals is learning how to protect your peace. And the truth is, peace and privacy go hand in hand. Here's what happens when you overshare. The moment you start talking about your dreams, you open the door for opinions, advice, and criticism you never asked for. And a lot of the time, those opinions don't come from a place of wisdom. They come from people's own fears, limitations, and jealousy. And suddenly, something that once felt so exciting starts to feel heavy. You're questioning your decisions, doubting your timing, and maybe even shrinking your vision just to make other people more comfortable. And that's exactly how dreams die. Not with failure, but with outside noise. But when you keep your goals close and private, you create a protective barrier around your peace. You stop letting other people's opinions steer your ship. You stay grounded in your own voice. And most importantly, you move with confidence because your decisions belong to you. Only share your deepest goals and plans with people who nourish your peace, not those who disturb it. If someone's energy leaves you feeling drained, confused, or doubting yourself every time you talk about your dreams, you don't belong in that circle. Period. When your goals live in a peaceful environment, they grow faster, they flourish, and you'll be amazed at how much further you go when your energy isn't being scattered by noise and opinions that were never meant to shape your path. And speaking of outside noise, one of the biggest ways it sneaks into your life is through misunderstanding and judgment, and silence protects you from that too. One of the most powerful reasons to keep your goals to yourself is this: people can't misunderstand, criticize, or question what they don't even know exists. When you overshare, you give people the opportunity to pick apart something that's still in the process of becoming. And because they don't see the full picture, the vision, the strategy, the why behind it, They often misinterpret your moves. They may label your ambition as unrealistic. They might project their fears onto your plan, or they'll criticize what they don't understand, which slowly chips away at your confidence. And here's the thing, even when you know that their opinions don't matter, repeated negativity can still plant small seeds of doubt. Suddenly you're questioning if you're capable, second guessing if it's possible, or wondering if you should play smaller just to avoid judgment. But when you move in silence, you take all that unnecessary pressure off the table. You stop performing for an audience and start building for yourself. And that shift, from needing validation to staying aligned with your purpose, is where real progress happens. In the early stages of a dream, your vision is so fragile. It's like a seed that needs time to take root. Don't expose it to harsh weather, aka opinions, judgment, and criticism, before it's strong enough to grow. Nurture it in private, build in silence. Then, once it's unshakable, you can share it. Not as a plan though, but as proof. And trust me, the same people who once doubted you will be the ones asking how you did it. Now, let's talk about how those results, once they show up, will become the most powerful statement. Here's one thing I want you to remember. Results will always speak louder than announcements. You don't have to broadcast every step you're taking, because when the results show up, they're going to do all the talking for you. There's nothing more powerful than people watching your transformation unfold without ever hearing a single word about your plan. And here's why that hits different. When people see your growth, your glow up, your discipline, your consistency, there's no debate, no explanation needed. Your success becomes undeniable proof. Most people spend more time talking about what they're gonna do than actually doing it. But the ones who truly win, they're too busy executing to explain. They're not posting about every step. They focused on taking the next one. And then one day, they walk into a room as a completely evolved version of themselves. And everybody's left speechless. And the best part, those same people who once doubted you, underestimated you, or didn't take you seriously will have no choice but to respect you. Because you can argue with opinions, but you cannot argue with results. Instead of announcing what's coming, commit to a period of silence where you only focus on execution. Then reintroduce yourself through your results. Whether it's the business you built, the weight you lost, the new skill you mastered, or the peace you created. Let people discover what you've been working on instead of hearing about it ahead of time. And here's the beauty of it. Silence followed by undeniable results doesn't just inspire people. It changes the way they see you forever. Now, if you're still watching at this point and you get what I'm saying, drop this emoji in the comments so I know that you're part of the Move in Silence squad. One of the biggest benefits of keeping your goals private is the freedom it gives you to evolve. When no one knows the details of your plans, you're free to pivot, switch strategies, or even change direction completely. And you can do it without feeling like you're letting anyone down. The truth is, most people stay stuck, not because they lack talent or discipline, but because they feel trapped by their own announcements. They told everyone they were starting a business, so now they're scared to pause and rethink the strategy. They announced they were writing a book, so now they feel embarrassed if the timeline changes. That pressure can make you force something that isn't aligned anymore, just to save face. But when your goals are private, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You can experiment, test, fail, learn, and adjust without the weight of other people's expectations on your shoulders. That freedom is powerful because success is not always a straight line. Sometimes the path that leads you to your breakthrough is the one you never planned to take. Instead of announcing a plan, commit to the mission, the bigger picture, and allow the method to change as needed. For example, your mission might be financial freedom, but the path might evolve from a 9-to-5 job to a side hustle to a business. As long as you keep the mission clear and the details private, you'll never feel stuck in a plan that no longer fits. And here's the beautiful part. When you eventually reveal what you've built, no one will care that the route changed. They'll only see the result. Now, one of the most underrated benefits of keeping your goals private is the element of surprise. There is nothing more satisfying than showing up with results that no one saw coming. Results you didn't talk about, brag about, or hype up in advance. Here's the truth. People pay more attention when they don't know what's coming. When you operate quietly, no one can track your moves, no one can predict your next step, and no one can prepare to downplay your success. And when you finally reveal what you've been working on, whether that's a new career, a new lifestyle, a transformed version of yourself, or a dream you turned into reality, the impact is so much greater because it came without warning. And let's be real, silence builds curiosity. People start to notice the small shifts. They see you pulling back, focusing more, and saying less. And they start wondering what's going on. Then when you pop out with undeniable results, you don't have to prove anything. The results do all the talking for you. This is how you flip the narrative. Instead of trying to convince people to believe in you, you let your success force them to. That's the power of moving in silence. Your actions become your announcement. I want you to make a habit of disappearing into discipline. Work quietly, improve consistently, and focus deeply. Then reappear with proof. Whether it's a big win, a major milestone, or a completely transformed version of yourself. The element of surprise not only shocks people, but it also demands respect. And that respect hits harder than any words ever could. Remember, the loudest flex is the one they never saw coming. And now that you understand the power of silence, there's one last piece to this puzzle, and it's the glue that holds all of this together. Discipline. Because at the end of the day, none of this matters if you're not consistent enough to turn your private plans into public results. When you keep your goals private, you're forced to rely on self-motivation instead of external validation. There's no one cheering you on, no one holding you accountable. Just you, your vision, and your commitment to it. And that's where real discipline is built. When you can push yourself even when no one's watching, that's when you start to build internal strength. The kind that doesn't depend on applause, likes, or opinions. That quiet consistency, that self-trust, it pays off far beyond 2026. Because when you master discipline in private, you move through life differently. You stop waiting for motivation. You become it. You stop seeking validation. You embody it. You start realizing that the discipline you're building today isn't just shaping your goals. It's shaping you. The woman who wakes up when she doesn't feel like it. The woman who prays, plans, and stays consistent. The woman who's not driven by attention, but by purpose. Girl, that version of you is dangerous in the best way. She don't need to announce what's coming. She is what's coming. So as you go after your goals this year, remember this. The world does not need another announcement. It needs your results. Keep building, keep believing. Protect your peace and protect your plan. And when it's finally time for your season to show, your success will speak so loud, girl, that you won't have to say a word. It's gonna say everything for you. Girl, you do not have to be loud to make an impact. Sometimes the most powerful version of you is the one no one sees coming. The version that's been growing in silence, staying consistent, and becoming stronger day by day. Now, if this message spoke to you, girl, go ahead and like this video. Leave me a comment so I know you're locked in for 2026. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. And don't click off just yet. YouTube should be recommending another video right here on the screen that will keep you inspired and focused on your next level. Go watch that next. And remember, stay consistent, stay grounded, and let your results do the talking. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.